Saturday, August 19th. And I made sure that both my cameras are functioning. I'm here in Fort Myers Beach. Tomorrow will be the Sanibel, another Sanibel, since I got to use all these free Sanibel over, and tomorrow will be I'll be bicycling towards probably Land's End. I gotta be careful because my main camera only lasts like 2 hours maximum, and then it dies of power. So a 2-hour bike ride, that going down to Land's End usually is 3 hours. So it'll be basically going from Jerry's all the way down to I'm gonna go this way this time. It'll be like going from Jerry's all the way to Land's End with very little stopping, and then back. If I can try to squeeze it in 2 hours. Anyway, they got some beautiful homes going up here. So Margaritaville is to the right here. I just sprayed my gears and everything, but I guess the lubricant needs to work its way in a little bit. So anyway, I don't think there's enough parking here in Margaritaville. I think Margaritaville is going to have to buy all these properties on the left-hand side. They're not done here, Margaritaville. It's not big enough. You know, I looked at it. It's a big resort, but it's still not big enough. Look, here's the wooden walkway they're building down to the road surface here. So it's got potential. So anyway, here's Times Square. I'm hitting every single bump. I didn't actually check my bicycle tires for air before I came out here, which is sad because I was so disappointed with garage sailing. I didn't buy anything this morning. And I went to there's a discount store on Hancock Ridge Parkway, and I spent $1.75. They had this excellent style Italian cheese on sale for 75 cents. For 12 ounces. I'm like, 75 cents for 12 ounces? I know it was like 2 days left before expiration, but still, it wasn't expired. Here's Yo Taco, the only old... Again, it's all going to be food trucks in this area because nobody could afford the bologna that goes on for all the building permits and everything else that goes on. So, which, again, it's a new look. It's going to be a new Fort Myers Beach, a little more primitive, which is nice too. You want things to be overdeveloped. So anyway, but they'll have to make do with these porta potties for the next couple of months. Because without the revenue coming in, and they're not going to have much revenue coming in because they're not going to be able to tax these people to death with just the... Oh, sorry about that, my fault. Thank you. So I'm looking at the tide. It does look a little bit lower than high tide, but the tide is still high. But we're going to get on the Bobwitch Point to see if anything has changed since now that is open. I know I didn't check my tires to see if they're maximum inflated, which is terrible. As you can see, the bathrooms are still falling apart or whatever. They're not doing anything. I didn't even opt to look to park in this area, thinking that this area would be already at maximum capacity. But yeah, the sad thing is that the last Saturday I was here, my primary camera for audio malfunctioned, and the video of it malfunctioned. So the video, it actually takes a good video, but it's tunnel vision. But if I'm at a standstill, it's actually better than my 4K camera. So the building I want to buy on Little Cerro Island, they just put a Lafrano for sale sign on it. So I'm gonna have to check it out. I wonder how much they want for a destroyed building. But because it's for sale now, I have to, it's the out. They want to go in the out. Oh, make a U-turn, okay. So yeah, I'm going to have to check it out. See how much it is. And I have to put my money where my mouth is. Now, if they want like $2 million or whatever their outrageous price would be, I'm not going to stomach that. But if they want something down to earth, I'll be into that. So yeah, I'm going to have to make an offer right away because you never know how desperate these sellers are. They might say just take the first offer and let's be done with it. So I want to be the first offer. And that sign was just up. So I've been looking at that building, so that sign just went up. So we'll see. Traffic is less coming onto the beach today. I don't know why, but coming into Fort Myers Beach, a lot less traffic than normal. It's about 11:45 in the morning, and it's a beautiful day out. There is a slight, almost negligible wind blowing, but still slight enough. It's keeping the humidity, well, it's still about 80%, but it's keeping it down from like 90%, the real sweltering humidity that you really dread. So there is this light, especially on bicycling, I'm feeling it, but when you're standing still, you can see some of these pompons swing just ever so lightly, but just enough. And it's keeping the humidity down, which means usually when that's happening, when you see wind in the morning or during the day, when I say wind, little tiny imperceivable breezes, then there will be thunderstorm activity later on. That's just how it works. Big wind is the other way around. Big wind in the morning will take away the humidity and drive it elsewhere. You won't have clouds, but little tiny stuff like this takes it off the ground, makes a cloud out of it, and then you get rain. So that would normally be the way I would take to go to the beach. I see there's a lot of parasailing out there. Sanibel, again, I did on last Sunday. I did the Shell Harbor up to Bailey's. Bailey's was the most interesting aspect about it. Because Bailey's is gone. And that little, I forget where that little restaurant was because it's changed hands so many times, but that's gone too. See this green building coming up on the left? This is a good investment. So I would imagine that whoever owns this right now is at a point that, that's small enough for, a crew. If you had 8 people, more like 16 would be better, but if you had, investor-wise, if you had 4 families, husband and wife teams, 8 people, and the women loved house cleaning and fixing up the inside, and the men could team up, maybe two teams of 2, a little competition, and have a little of this competitive rivalry to get the work done a little sooner than possible. And of course, it's always good to have an assistant handy and telling you how it should be done properly. That way you do it correctly the first time and not make a mistake and have to redo it. That's why it's good to have 2 people doing a job rather than 1. I'm always finding myself like that. Like, I want to jump into something, I do it with my first thoughts, or I do it with Home Depot, whatever, whoever recommends, do it to code, But unfortunately, code, the people who write the code are not that smart, and the people that are contractors usually are not that smart either. So you really have to sit down and think for a second: is this the right way, or is this just, they don't know how to do it, so they threw something together and just to file, a fine against you if you don't do it like they want you to do it. But you really want to do it the right way, not the code way. You want to do it the right way that will withstand a Katrina Hurricane 5, Category 5 hurricane. That's the right way of doing it. Adjusting my camera a little bit. So yeah, I made sure both cameras are on. Who knows if they'll stay on. This other camera that I have, my primary audio camera, has a tendency of going off if I hit big bumps. So I gotta be careful about hitting these big bumps. The other camera, the 4K one, that one's pretty good. Once it's on, which I had a little problem turning it on today. It didn't want to go on with the first click, but the second click it turned on. That's all right. Anyway, here we're at Bodwich Point. As you can see, there's a fence around it. I'm not going to go in the back because it's just parking. We're going to try to get to the beach using this front access this time. still gonna go up here on the sidewalk to check it out. Again, it's nice overcast. So they should sell this. They should sell this to a developer. So the developer spends his money instead of the taxpayers' money fixing the bathrooms, making these into shops. You can have a souvenir shop, so you can have little tiny restaurants. It would help out the area a lot. But you know, people. Oh, golly, they had to. Oh, good. For a second there, I thought they fenced this area off, but it was just that one little rope there. I was gonna say, don't have to go all the way around. All right, so I'm running out of traction here. Looks like it rained or something because I'm hitting some good traction, but not now. Oh man, I'm almost there. This is terrible. I'm almost there. Let me downshift all the way. Oh, I'm still riding. Watching, it's a quicksand. Sometimes there's quicksand here on the beach. More so, like when I was here 40 years ago, there was a lot of quicksand. And you get it in this muddy, mud flat type of quicksand area. Seagull, I'm in your way. All right. So yeah, it isn't. It looks like a medium tide. I think the tide is going out. All right. So I probably could have bicycled a little further, but so they have a big dredge over there. There's sand above. You can see it pretty good, so there's not that much humidity. Just across the island. It's awesome going over across the island. The first Coastal Island is a little bit smaller than it used to be, but the second Coastal Island, closer to Sanibel, that's bigger than it used to be. So it's pretty amazing. And then there's the dredge. I just found out that they're going to use that dredge. The state of Florida gave Sanibel almost $6 billion to renourish the beaches. Personally, I don't think the beaches in Sanibel need to be renourished because they got like sand added to them. So, but the state of Florida is going to give $6 billion, which obviously half that's going to go in someone's pocket, which is sad, but they're going to give it to them. Oh well. It's corruption, but blatant corruption. But nothing I can do about it. Somebody's got a slush fund and they want to spend $6 billion. Sounds like somebody wants to get out of the country and they want to cash out fast. Like there's a better investment somewhere else. They want some of that billions to invest with. Anyway, let's get back here to Fort Myers Beach. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. The back tire needs a little more air. The front tire is still doing fine. I tested that. The back tire could use. Last week I pumped it up to 65. It's probably gone down to about 58 right now. Not that it's losing air, it's just, you know, it is. You get a little bit of water in there, a little sand, and loses some air. I've been taking on lots of bicycle rides too. I just don't go to the beach with this bike. I have a second bike that I used to be my primary bike, and now it's more like not only a backup bike. It's like I rarely use it. It's a steel frame, but it has a nice 29-inch tire. These are 29-inch too, but they only actually measure 28 1/4. Where my other steel bike, the 29-inch tires measure 29 1/4. So, and they're 2.1 width. These here are probably about 1.95. It's awesome here on the beach. Oh, sorry. Anyway, this is a pink shell, and they have quite a few people. I'd say at least 100 people here on the beach, and I can see around the pool, at least 100 people around the pool. And they opened up, oh no, that's the primary pool. They still haven't opened up their secondary pools yet, but the primary pool has about 100 people around it. And the waterfalls are working, obviously the pool's working. Well, it's really nice. I hear music, I see beach barmaids going out and getting drink orders and food orders. So yeah, it's back to normal here at Pink Shell. So there's not much more to see around here except the beach. You know, this seaweed. The seaweed could have happened a week ago, and it just washed up on the beach now. I don't see that much seaweed in the water. Now it is low tide, so it could have happened within a week, like a storm or something, but the seaweed will eventually start stinking, but not as much as like a red tide. Red tide, forget it. When those fish start rotting, you just have to bury all the fish. You have to dig a big hole in the beach and bury them. And usually what will happen is after about 2 or 3 months, the crabs, the worms, everything else inside the beach and sand, they'll burrow down, eat all that fish. Where the rainwater will just like decay with bacteria and just decay the fish into the beach, like sand into the beach. So they'll become sand. This beach is a little lumpy here. I'm hitting bumps. I'm trying to think it'd be better if I bicycle up here. Let's try it. It's a little more stable. It feels stable. And the seashell's not too bad. You got some driftwood. It's alright. Let me go back down here and check it out. Yeah, it's a little more lumpy down here. Yeah, I like the less bumpiness up here. Alright. Beach changes daily. You'll get, up here will be not lumpy today, but by tonight it'll be lumpy. Any rainstorm that comes through here will change this too. A nice heavy downpour will make this lumpy. And it will make that down there nice and flat. The tide coming in will make that nice and flat down there. Here we have an inlet. You guys are there. So, yeah, so the building that I want to buy on Little Cerro Island now has a for sale sign in front of it. So I'm going to have to act on my instinct and call them up and at least find out how much they want. I'll find out if there's any terms available, any seller financing. I can pretty much go to the taxing authorities to see what the taxes are, but it's always good to get it from them, to hear it from their mouth first. But one, you want to hear if they're telling the truth or not. So you still want to go to the taxing authorities anyway, check it out. You want to do your due diligence. Don't believe everything you hear. Make sure you do your investigative research. I want to ask if there's any liens in the property. I want to ask how much the flood insurance is. I want to ask how much disaster recovery they did on the building. If you buy any business here, especially after this hurricane, like 5 years from now, no one will be thinking about a hurricane. They'll be thinking about, I need to get on the beach, All this property will double in price in 5 years. So, real estate is always a good investment. America's crowded. Got almost 400 million people living here. Everyone wants to come to Florida and live on the beach. There's only so much beach to go around. And then all of a sudden you're at, you have little supply, tons of demand, the price is going to go skyrocket up. Again, over here is a building that looks like the Edison home on the left-hand side. That's a good buying opportunity. It looks like they just have a little bit of roof damage. Somebody put a tarp up there to hold out the rain. We got first floor damage, but second, third, and fourth floors are good. So that's 12 rentals at least. So 12 rentals are $1 million a piece. So that means you don't want to buy the building for more than $12 million. $12 million would be the cap. And then you'd want to sell the units on the top for at least $1 million a piece, if not 1.5 each. Maybe more if you can get it. And then the bottom units you would fix up. And then you would try to bundle them up to another developer for about $3 to $4 million. So that's your profit. Your profit would be you buy it for 12. You'd sell the 12 units for somewhere between 12 units, somewhere between $15 to $20 million. You'd have $500,000 of repairs, and real estate taxes they're going to hit you with that too. Maybe another $500,000. You have to factor that in. And then sell the rest of the building between, let's say, $4 to $5 million for all the communal property and everything. And then, wash your hands of it. That'd be a 1-year project. You'd be out of it and you'd make $10 million. You'd make between 10 and 15 million. But that's only if they would go 12 million. They're not going to do that. So anyway, you have to weigh and hedge your bets like that. Thank you. This is why it's good right after a hurricane. If you got money, buy that property right away when people are distraught and they're willing to sign the bottom line for anything. You're buying for 5 years from now. You have to keep it in mind. Get that food truck on the property. Get that rental income coming in. Apply for those building permits now while you still have a chance. Yep. People look at me because I look like a cop. I got a black cap on. I got a blue shirt and blue and black pants. But just enjoying myself. I got some dark sunglasses. Maybe that makes me look like a cop, and I got a big smile on my face. But I'm not wearing a gun or anything. It's crowded here, but not as crowded. Oh, sorry. Thank you. So anyway, you got a lot of pelicans on this pier, which is good. I love that. That's the pelican's perch now. Okay, I hear the tuba guy coming up. I haven't seen the pirate yet. And I haven't seen the pirate boat. This would be the same time the pirate boat would be coming back to its marina back in Little Cerro Island. So people pay, I don't know how much it is, but they get a pirate cruise and they get lunch. So, look, we're getting closer. I hear the trumpet or the tuba, I guess. A lot of people are bringing full tents down here now, which is good, actually. I always watch people, give them a wide berth in case they don't look and jump in the way. But I mean, still, it doesn't always work. They'll leap like 5 feet not looking. The tuba guy must be down by the Lanakai. When the night goes, when the sun goes down, the night, the pirate guy, he hangs out at the Lighthouse Resort by the pool. So if you want to know where the pirate guy goes, that's his hangout in the evening when the sun goes down. So they say that they're not going to open up Margaritaville until December. I find that just disturbing because it will cost them so much money. They're so close. They have to wait now till December. It just doesn't make any sense. But when this place opens, I'm telling you, this whole area is going to start developing. It's going to be the domino that causes all the development of Fort Myers Beach to be sparked from. I mean, not only will you have the 7-Eleven try to finish building themselves before December, even a church will probably open up because they're going to need one here. There's only 250 rooms. Here's the tuba. Oh, I see him now. So I'm getting a headwind. So there is some light wind coming out of what I would call the east-northeast. And for some reason it looks like not necessarily the Lanakai, but just down from the Lanakai where all the parking is, it seems to be where there's the most congregation of people, where all those orange umbrellas are. Here's the tuba guy, straight ahead. The sad fact of reality is that guy graduated from college and he's blowing his tube on the beach. I mean, come on. He's trying to make a living. People taking of notoriety. People taking $5 pictures. I mean, this is not the Strip of Las Vegas. In the Strip of Las Vegas, somebody like that blowing a tuba, you could make it there because there's just so many people. People are people. It seems like the people in Las Vegas who know how to really play craps well. Hello. They're the ones who have the money. So that was pretty sad right there. But yeah, pretty sad on my account, that is. Should have done more than that. Definitely coming back on the beach. There's Estero Boulevard. What? What's Estero Boulevard? Really? I mean, they should allow driving on the beach at 10 miles an hour here. Come on. They should allow driving at low tide. Actually, they should allow driving at the high tide mark, so people can park over here. And that way, there's no cars between people and the water. There's plenty of beach to allow that. They should allow that. That would allow free parking. More people would come to the beach. I mean, it'd be good for business all around. More people would eat at restaurants because they'd be hungry. Everyone would need. There would be more shopping in stores. With all these. Oh, here's the pirate right here. So that's $5 for a photo. He's got one parrot on his shoulder, and these parrots are very shy. They like him. Obviously, they know him. But I was in the Lighthouse Resort, and I'm checking out the beautiful water here. Yeah, right. The water is beautiful. So the hotel that they knocked down just to the west, I would call it, of Diamond Head, which we're approaching on the left-hand side here. You can see it. They're still taking down the piles. Okay, straight ahead of me is an ice cream guy. He's got a dead, looks like a palm frond tree or just a palm frond. And then he's got an umbrella. The umbrella's smart. The dead palm frond doesn't make any sense. I mean, you should at least put like a fake palm frond there or something. Okay, now this area of the beach is becoming better and bicycle. It's still a little bumpy, but it's less bumpy. It's really nice and packed. So I feel like I just upped the gears a little bit. See, he shows the display of all these ice creams, but he doesn't display the prices. So people don't want to get sticker shock. I mean, he would sell 3 times more if even if he listed the outrageous price. People, at least, it's like in a garage sale. I've been doing garage selling for too long. I've been doing garage selling for at least 35 years. So I know you have to set a price. It's a game, basically. Conducting business is playing a game. You got the ask price and you got the bid price. No one usually overbids property. 99.9999% of the time, nobody will overbid a property unless for some reason there's like buried treasure, oil, or something that makes that property worth more than what's been known. There has to be a run on it, like a run on the bank. Like there's like everybody's running out of money. That's the only bank left that has it. Like the Bank of the Bahamas when this FTX cryptocurrency fell apart. So yeah, that's the thing. You're gonna buy property, you're gonna bid lower than the ask price. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but passing the Nautilus Hotel. Again, this is a great investment. You have to be willing to fix 250 rooms, but it's a killer piece of property just down the road from Lanakai. And again, Diamond Head. And Diamond Head, that building that was just destroyed, just to the west of it, Diamond Head needs to buy it. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. We'll never be here again, because if anybody buys it, they're going to build something, and that building is going to last for 70, 80 years, at least. And they're going to build it to the new code, which says you have to be able to survive a tropical or a hurricane 180 mile per hour winds. So right now that property is selling for a discount. Why? Because all properties on Fort Myers Beach are now currently for sale. So you have more supply than buyers. And Diamond Head should just buy it and get it up and running. All right, we're only going to go down to, I don't know. I might go down. We're going to try to cut this one a little short because I'm going to be doing a 3 to 5 hour bicycle ride on Sanibel tomorrow. So I don't want to spend the whole day on the beach and all these home projects that I have planned. I painted my metal lanai. I got to mount that this weekend, so I might not have any time tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll get out early to the beach though. I'll try to get out before 10, so I get some in the morning late. It's a Sanibel. Since it was high tide last weekend, I wasn't able to bicycle here on the beach. So I want to spend most of the time here on the beach. And there's a lot of seaweed coming up. And the tide looks like it is starting to come in. Because you can see it bunching up the seaweed. And when seaweed is bunching up like that, that means the tide's pushing it in. If the seaweed was spreading out, like getting thinner towards the water, then the tide would be going out because the seaweed would be pulled out. But the seaweed, as you can see, is bunching in and making like a big barrier wall. That means the tide's coming in. So I want to be able to go back in the same beautiful bicycling zone I have. Oh, there's a dredge. So this is interesting. But why is the dredge emptying offshore like that? Look at that. So that's pumping. It looks like it's pumping from there. And they're pumping it over there. If they're pumping though, there would be a big swirl. And normally when they pump from offshore, like 3 miles offshore. But it's dumping there. Why do they need more sand on this beach? Look how big this beach is. The beach gained 2 feet in elevation and at least 20 yards because the hurricane pushed the sand onto shore. So why are they pumping more sand on shore? I mean down there by Publix, that's where they really need the sand. Because that's it bows in, like a Waikiki beach. That's the key of the Waikiki. So we're just going down here to we're going down to if I can get down here. I'm just going down to the old Junkaroo, the old Fresh Catch, and we'll turn around and back. I don't see much more people down here, and that's really what's most interesting to look at. There's the Fort Myers Beach Library again. They need to take the word library down and put in Fort Myers Beach Town Center. And that building's already there. Why spend the money to build a new one when that building is not even used anyway as a library? It has more than enough room to house all county offices, and it's built to withstand Hurricane 5, and it withstood the Hurricane 4 Ian that crashed into Southwest Florida. So it makes no sense. And behind the library building, if they needed an extra, there is a church that nobody uses, and then there's a school right there, which is the administrative building. Hello. Oh, beautiful. A beautiful cloud. Again, any building still standing here is worth buying. It's hard to say because, real estate is involved in a macro environment, unless somehow you can flip it within the same year. If a building you can get for $100,000, if you could flip it for that, and I would go for it, even if it's a 3-month job. Make $100,000 in 3 months, it's worth it. But on the beach here, it's going to take a little bit longer to sell because you're dealing with flood insurance. You're dealing with just a lot of unknowns. And you need rich people. And I'm not saying there's not rich people here in Florida, but a lot of the rich people already own property in Florida. You know, I don't know. They're looking for good deals too. Anyway, here's the fresh catch junkaroo coming up on the left-hand side. So we're going to turn around up here, and then right over here, there's also a beach patrol sitting there looking at his phone. All right, I guess. And then behind the junkaroo is the old Fort Myers Beach fire station, which again, the library could be made into a fire station because the ground floor of the library, don't ask me why, but they made it like 25 feet high. So you can put every single hook and ladder fire truck times 2 and utility vehicles underneath the library. So it just makes sense for them to repurpose the library as the municipal building. It's got better parking. Even the fence survived. So see, no one here is fixing fresh catch, and junkaroo of course is gone. Junkaroo here, this is good property, but you know, obviously they still want the outrageous price, which I mean, I would love to buy it. It would be a good, if you can somehow get a partnership between like 7-Eleven, maybe even Junkaroo, and yourself, and yes, build the 7-Eleven, build an ice cream store, build a bicycle rental, build a restaurant, and make that into a family place. Even maybe a little gambling, a little like a not really a gambling establishment per se, at least not yet. But you know, if you had like a little crypto arcade. So it's not really a casino. You turn your money into cryptocurrency, into crypto, and you play like in an arcade style. That's legal. It would be a viable spot. It would outgrow yourself very, very fast. You can see up there. Okay, you can see the dredge now pumping that stuff in. I'm trying to look and see if I could see where that pipeline emanates from. It goes way out there. There's orange buoys that go way out. So I think that those orange buoys, they're getting their dredge material from 2 different directions. So each direction the buoys go out is an underwater pipeline. But they're only going out about maybe 1,000 yards. That's it. I see I'm going farther than that. A lot of seagulls here. See the seaweed's all getting bunched up now. Right off this shore, there's tons of seaweed, which could be indicative of they're pumping the sand. That could be loosening the seabed and causing all the seaweed to come ashore. And the seaweed actually acts as a good buffer. It actually builds beach, to tell you the truth. It builds beach and it feeds the seagulls and the crabs. And the seagulls are checking for any little speck of seafood. It's like a natural net that caught stuff. So the seagulls are looking for anything calling it. So look, the seaweed sometimes is making it into like big obstacles, like mountains of seaweed. So that just shows you that the tide is coming in. So with them pumping that sand like this, again, it's probably a mixture of 3 parts water to 1 part sand. But still, with the amount of flow they're going, I've seen the beach grow on a dredge on Sanibel Island with the same type of flow like that. And the beach was growing. They have to be dredging a pass out there. There has to be like an intercoastal waterway or something they're dredging. So I don't see why they would. If they're gonna pump sand, you better pump it onto the beach here. Don't pump it onto sandbars. The sandbar could be lost again. But if they're building a beach like that, I'm telling you, all these places are gonna. The longshore current is gonna take it south, so it should eventually flow down towards Publix and help the beach down there. That's probably what they're doing. They probably don't want to. They probably want to build a beach here, thinking that it will be carried southwards to. That's normally how longshore current in this area works. Although today there is a slight east to northeast wind blowing to the south-southwest, which is causing the longshore to kind of like go against its normal flow, but pretty much it does flow from north to south, which would be west to east at this point. If I tell you the truth, actually right now we're heading due north. So let me see if I get that wind bearing again. So yeah, that'll be south. So I get confused here with this beach because this beach is a big crescent beach. Well, we're going west. No, actually we're heading straight west.
I haven't worked hard on it. I haven't like really worked out hard. The more I'm
They didn't want to give way. They made me drive into soft sand over with them. Oh. That's a bison right here. It's really nice. Yeah, I guess we're heading west because the sun is rising behind us, so that would be the east. So yeah, I was right the first time. So Fort Myers on the south side is like a north to south beach because it's like a crescent, but then as it turns to the north here, it's angling more towards a west to east or east to west beach. So yeah, the sun's behind us. I'm looking down at the shadow, and yep. So there are some there are some cumulus clouds that are building, and they're bumping together, and then they're growing. Look. They said today was going to be really stormy, but they said not till about 1 o'clock. So I'm looking, and things sometimes can go down really fast. You get one thunderhead or two clouds that collide into each other, and if they can produce an updraft or a downdraft, they could suck in like a vacuum other clouds, and next thing you know, within a half hour, it went from clear skies to a monsoon rain. I'll tell you right now, with the energy, must be about, in the sun here, it's about 95. Right now in the shade, this feels comfortable. This is about 91, maybe 90. This cloud overhead. Yeah, I bought, right after garage selling, a friend and I, we stopped at what's called the barn store, which is like a discount food store. And I got this cheese for 75 cents, which is like a really good cheese made in Italy. I'm not sure if it's goat cheese or what, but for 75 cents, it wasn't even expired yet. And I got 2 bottles of grenadine, like mixed, and like to make like cherry Coke, they'll take Coca-Cola and put like a little tiny squirt of grenadine in there, and it tastes excellent. So I've been doing a lot of steeping of tea, like taking hot water and hitting tea bags or hot water with lemon juice, and then after you swirl that a little bit, give it about 2 minutes of then you shock it with cold ice, and then you spin that, and it cracks whatever the sugar that was in there, whatever the sucrose, fructose, whatever that sugar is, and it makes it taste excellent. And if you have diabetes like I have, you don't want that high fructose corn syrup or sugar just chewing away at your stomach. So, but when I steep it like that, I don't feel any ill effects. Not during I drink it, or like 4 hours after, you would have that normal diabetic fit. So I want to try that with some of this grenadine. I want to put the grenadine in hot water, stir it, and shock it with ice and see what it tastes like.
Well, like when you were like,
So you have a lot of Florida Gulf Coast University has a lot of students that are now going to school year round. So I'm seeing a lot of college level kids using your speech. And hello. And to tell you the truth, Fort Myers Beach is one of the most economical beaches you can go to. I mean, Hollywood on the east coast of Florida, that's a pretty good beach. It's very close to. I mean, you have Route A1A, you have Route 1. It's close to some discount stores and restaurants. Even Pompano Beach is pretty good. But on the west coast here, you really only have. I've been up in Bradenton. I've been up in Clearwater. Wow, they just knocked down that building that I wanted to buy too. Wow. So maybe on the way back, I'll do a little. I'll bicycle on Estero Boulevard, and I'll show you the building that they just tore down. That was that noise that sounded like lightning and thunder.
what? That one doesn't have it. No, you can just stay over there and it's more money than if you walk.
Anyway, they knocked it down. That building during Hurricane Irma, whatever it was, 6 years ago, they had all this fanfare, booey-hooey about how they saved $1 million by being able to straighten the building, and now they tore it down. So more open space here on the beach. It is good. Again, this guy's selling stuff, but these people got cash in their pockets. Obviously, they don't mind what price it is. So there's a lot of the tractors pulling the wave virus is causing a lot of bumps and stuff. People on a bicycle where there's not that much bumps. So there's a tractor here. This has all been tractored. Tractored to Sandcastle. Now I have to bicycle down here. There's no other choice. So again, the bar's open here, but the bathrooms aren't open. So you still have to use the porta potties. This is Lanakai. They boarded up the first floor, but they haven't finished it. Second floor, they got about 3/4 of that done. Some of the rooms, I still see furniture stacked in it, and that's the furniture from the first floor stacked in the second floor inside the rooms. Lanakai, Margaritaville, that's going to be the, it deviates from the Hawaiian theme, because Margaritaville, that would be Caribbean. There's an island, Margaritaville. It used to be called Margaritaville. I don't know what it's called now, but it was just north of Venezuela. I would have called it the Waikiki or something. I wouldn't have called it. But again, it's a chain, so they named it after themselves. Sweet. You can see the seaweed's getting bunched up here, which is an indication the tide's coming in. It's making a big block. Unfortunately, it's forcing me to bicycle up here. passing by Margaritaville. Thank you. They're never going to rebuild the Fort Myers Beach Pier. It's going to cost too much. All the damage that's gone on. This pier sustained far more damage than the Naples Pier did. Naples Pier had its buildings wiped out, but for the most part, the concrete still remained. It had like two pilings that were down a little bit. It needs to be fixed, but that's minor. But here, you even have some missing pilings. You know, not only is the capstone on top of the pilings gone, but you have missing pilings too. Which, again, it's not a big deal. I mean, I could probably fix this bridge. This pier, excuse me. I could probably fix this thing for probably about $4 million if I really cut corners. But I think that's $4 million that they don't want to spend. Here's a timber guy. He's playing a Beatles song right now. Come together. Pull that fan. Thank you. That boat offshore is producing the most sound. Thank you. Catch. If he didn't catch that ball would have hit me in the head. Football. All right, so we're just gonna take the first exit I can find up here. Probably coming up after this Edison Beach House copycat building. Definitely tides coming in. And again, it's really enjoyable when the clouds over the sun right now. That little breeze. It's the humidity's not that high at ground level here because of that little tiny breeze. Let's see how far we can go here. Probably not that far. Oh, I already spun out. Oh. That whole it would look like a solid sandbank, but it's not. It was just like, it must have rained here last night or something like that. Created like a little icing over top of soft sand. My tires dug into it about 4 inches. Spun out. So this is the hotel, the Best Western Plus I like. But the amount of time it's taken them to fix this thing. I see that they're they're building rooms on the ground floor. I mean, it makes sense, right? Why have parking on the ground floor? But on the same token, why don't you get the existing rooms done? The existing room that got impacted by the hurricane, why don't you get them done first before they build new rooms on the ground floor? So, probably just, I mean, I don't notice a visible change in contractors here. I see all these cinder blocks. They're building something. I just bicycled over a whole bunch of these sand spurs. Those things can puncture a tire easy. I see one stick in my tire right. Yeah, take them out immediately. Don't run them over. I'll just take my tires out. Make sure there's no sand spurs stuck in there. Even crushed ones would cause a tire deflation. Just checking the front rear before I mount the bicycle and put much more strain on it. One off it there. Check the other side. Alright, let's go skid. Alright. See, there's for sale signs all over the place. Century 21. Got Coastal Realty. You know what? And people will buy, and 2 months later they'll sell. Or they'll sell and then turn around and buy again. See, even the property medic is building himself a building. You're smart, you know. Once Margaritaville opens up, it's going to set off a renaissance here on the island that's going to cause building development to skyrocket. And the thing is that Lanakai is open, and the Pink Shell, and Diamond Head. Those three big hotels alone, you know, have overflow capacity. I mean, they all don't have enough restaurants and gift shops to supply all their tourists. So they're looking, but there is no, like, besides this. On Little Estero Island, there's like a little gasoline station, which is the closest gas station to Fort Myers Beach. So people in Fort Myers Beach use that not just for gas for their cars, but also for boats or mopeds, motorcycles. They use that a lot. And that's a little convenience store too. They use that too. And the property I want to buy is right across the street from that. Because I know that there's a parking lot there. It's a free parking lot. And I know there's a gas station across the street, which is drawing a lot of attention. You don't see it, but there is, especially locals. And those locals are the ones, they're the 50%ers that buy the 50% of the property. Okay, so we're not going to go down St. Carlos Boulevard, because we've seen that too many times in my bicycle videos. We're going to go back to Times Square. Or maybe we'll go straight. Yeah, let's go straight and check it out. We'll really go this way straight. So this pizzeria, this is nice. They survived the hurricane. And there's a trend now. Air conditioning units used to be on the ground, now they're on the roofs, which is smart. There's 2,000 flavors. This has been here since 1989. Smart. And this place here is recently sold, got rebuilt. And then this Cold Stone Creamery. It's advertising the local property. You can see over here the Margaritaville. So let's drive down to the Kia Estero Shopping Center. Actually, I'll go all the way down to Seagrape Plaza and then back. Why not? Just to see it. See what people are doing meandering here on the street. Hello. Got the American flag on the bridge. It's nice. Okay. So that answers my question. The Ocean Jewels was just sold. So now you just have the surf club left. So I'm gonna look at both prices, the surf club and that other place. I want to see how much money they're asking. See, there is a demand for property right next to Margaritaville. There is demand for this property. See, 7-Eleven should start development right now because they're going to need it. See, there's an open lot right here on the right-hand side. Tropical Hut Realty. That is going to be bought up. This tuna skin is doing a great job fixing this place up. So they're building brand new concrete stairways. And it looks awesome what they're doing. They're doing a great job there. In fact, a really nice job. And then if Lana Kai was smart, they would add more condos there by the canal. They'd build new accommodations back there. And they would buy up all these parking lots. Enormous beach parking, all these beach parking. This should all be part of Lana Kai's property. Even the property over here, this beach parking over here, they should buy it out. $20 a spot. I mean, $20 times, let's say 50 cars, that's $1,000. But I mean, that'll pay a couple people's paychecks. $1,000, that's not too bad per day. It's pretty sad though that places like Hooters here, that was here, they're not here now. But they were one of the. This was like the heart of Fort Myers Beach, Hooters. Now that they're not here. Now this Kia Stero, there's two things. You can make the ground floor into a flea market like I suggested, or, you know what? You can make the ground floor into a poker gambling center, and they could gamble with cryptocurrency. I mean, you put $200 and get crypto, and then you could do poker gambling with crypto. I'm thinking of all these great ideas. And there's always a need for coffee shops. Actually, a fast food restaurant chain here on the island. They used to have McDonald's, but it left. They need one. If they had like an In-N-Out Burger, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, whatever, or one of those newer ones, Culver's, anyway, but it has to be a fast food. It can't be a dine-in restaurant. See, here's a building on the left-hand side. I always looked at it, but I don't know. For right now, I need something more turnkey. I'd pay a little more to get the turnkey, get my business cash flow going. It's worth more to me. But I want to buy a building. I don't want to rent it. Renting is probably smarter, especially during the hurricane season. And if there was a hurricane coming, I would definitely yank all offers I have to buy, that's for sure. I'd say my offers are retracted until the hurricane is done. I don't want no accepting my offer and then the hurricane destroys the property. No. And if I had a real estate business, I would automatically have that as a clause inside the contract. There's no way that you should be forced to go through with a purchase if a natural disaster is coming your way. Here, this look, Lafreno, they're the ones that put up the real estate sign on the building that I want to buy in the middle of Star Island. Okay, I'm just going down to the library here. I'm not doing further than the library. I want to check out the library because I want to see the demolished want to see the I want to see if they demolished the church. Actually, you got Royal Scoop over on the left-hand side. They're still there. Beach Connection, left-hand side. They want $1 million for that. Good luck on that one. I'll never get that. They'll have to take $400,000, and that's even overstating the property value. I would say $300,000 right now. Keller Williams Realty. They have a manufactured home right here right now. Here's Chapel by the Sea. Again, sad, but there's no interest to rebuild that. And obviously, there's no insurance. See, here's the old government building. They don't need to rebuild this. Make that available for a little supermarket. Like over here, they have the sign that says Town Hall. They don't need a town hall over here. They have the library. I mean, unless they're gonna make the town hall into these manufactured homes that are still sitting here from FEMA. That's the way to economize the money, but I'm not gonna go further than this beach library. I just want to take a look at it. See, it's still sitting here. You can see it on the left-hand side. Nothing happened to it. It's beautiful. It's got plenty of room. The ground floor, you can easily put the fire department down there. The first floor, big enough. You don't need any library anymore. Nobody needs it. Nobody cares about it. Do you think people cared about the library during and after the hurricane? Absolutely not. Internet access, they didn't give any internet. I mean, only bums were in there. So it's like a magnet for bums on the island. See, and there's a library, not a library, there's a church and a school behind this building, which is, they need extra administrative buildings. It's already there. Just renovate the church up a little bit. Make 2 stories inside there. Done. This library hardly ever used. It would be better suited if this was a government building. They can still put a library. You know, they only need no one reads books anyway. They just need computer terminals or Wi-Fi. You just put chairs throughout the place. I say free Wi-Fi, government building. Alright, so I'm back. Again, tomorrow's going to be the big bus go ride. Even though I put sunblock 50 on, I got sunblock 30 on my face. I don't want to get too much sun today because tomorrow is going to be... There used to be a triple canopy bicycle coverage all the way on Sandcap Road. That was before the hurricane. I'm assuming after the hurricane, there is no more canopy. I'm assuming, even though there wasn't that much wave action, the canopy may have survived. I'm assuming that it got wiped out. So, for the 7 miles that I might have to bicycle there, each way, what I intend to do is go down Donax all the way, not Donax, what's it called again? I intend to bicycle right from Jerry's down the, I forget the name of the road now, but it's right where Middle Gulf Drive is, and take that all the way to West Gulf Drive, and then instead of taking the Rabbit Road, the bicycle path behind Rabbit Road, I'll go all the way down West Gulf Drive until I get to the very end, cut off onto the beach if I can, that is, and then take the beach road to an adjoining property, maybe even as far as, if it's low tide, if I get out early enough, I might be able to go all the way over to a public beach like Bowman's Beach, and then take Bowman's Beach back to Sandcap Road. That way, I'll at least break it up a little bit. And if there is a triple canopy on West Gulf Drive, which I doubt it, that's probably got destroyed too. Still, it'll allow me to break up the trip a little bit, so it'll not be as boring. Because believe me, coming back on West Gulf Drive, I'll be in zombie mode. I won't be talking at all. I'll be just sweating it and dreading the miles go by. And I think it's like 7 miles. I'm curious to see how much devastation there is on Captiva. And I want to get it in fast before, we may get a storm on a Sunday. A lo and behold, we're coming up to peak hurricane season. We might get a hurricane on a Sunday, so they'll definitely close down the islands if that happens. And we were passing by the Shamrock on the right-hand side and Armando's Day Spa that were wiped out. I'm always envious of the Century 21, this Tri-Power Realty. I think they got the best building gig in town. I was riding up on top of this concrete here. I don't like riding up on that concrete. I'm right over here. If you worked on the beach, it's best to have an electric bike like that guy has, because you don't want to get too sweaty going to work. You want something that it'll get you to work fast. You don't have to pedal. And with an electric bike like that, you can put a backpack on. You have more control over bicycling. You still got to pedal. Exactly. This Kia Acero shopping center, just a sign came down, but I'm telling you, either a 24/7, 7 days a week flea market, or, I mean, if I get away with putting in a gambling thing in there, that would be fantastic. I would allow free parking too. Gotta think about that. And the problem is that they want like $14 million plus for it. Probably more like $20 million. And that's not doable. And plus, the guy who probably runs parking concessions probably wants to still maintain his gig. I'm gonna say absolutely no way, Jose. It's like people who want to gamble at my establishment. What I would do is they would have to card. So they have to come in and card means playing the table for 20 minutes. And then they get carded, or else they got to pay the daily rate. Either they play 20 minutes or they pay $20, whichever one it is. Because let's face it, Lynn Hall Park is free. There is another park coming up right near Margaritaville. Margaritaville wants to buy it. They probably want to buy other property and exchange it so they could take over that property, which makes more sense, and I wouldn't have a problem with that. All right, but this property here, the beach club, the old Waffle House, I had to look up this property. The problem is that nobody's maintained it, but it has a concrete structure, which is so nice. Wait. I have it on high gear. Should have it on low gear. Alright, so yeah, this property sold. And it's probably Margaritaville got bought. So now they get to build their bridge over it. I knew they would buy that. And all this property too, they probably sold. Paid parking. No one's going to use this paid parking. This is stupid. We're trying to get this hotel done. I don't blame them. You can smell the paint. They're doing final enamel paint right now. Margaritaville eventually is going to buy all this property. Even the Lighthouse, they're going to buy that. Lighthouse Inn and Suites. The Lighthouse Inn and Suites, it has a color scheme, and the new building that the Lighthouse Inn built kind of matches Margaritaville a little bit. Although Margaritaville, just like Pink Shell Resort, will knock it down and build their grandiose structure, that's for sure. Anyway, hope to see you guys tomorrow on my Sanibel bicycle video. Until then,